All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live stream here on Facebook Live and on YouTube as well. My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be with you all. If you guys can hear me, if you guys can see everything coming through on your end, let me know in the comments or in the chat. Either or is fine. Just want to make sure that we have sound, that everything is working. Once again, this is the second time we've streamed both on Facebook and YouTube, so still getting a little familiar with it, so bear with me a little bit. I apologize for any issues or hiccups that we have, making sure everything works, so apologize for ahead of time. All right, so with that in mind, welcome once again, everybody. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I see Jonathan is in here, Kyle's in here, has some stocks that they want to take a look at. Robert is in here. Mike is all good. Awesome. Thank you for that. William's saying loud and clear. Perfect. That's what I want to hear. Over on our YouTube side, Jack is saying good from YouTube. Thank you for that, Jack. Hopefully you're doing well. All right. Awesome. So with that, welcome everybody. For anybody tuning in just for the first time, my name is Patrick France. I'm a senior instructor here at VectorVest. Every single Thursday, I teach you how to become better, smarter traders utilizing the VectorVest Stock Advisory app. It's one of the best apps to make sure that you never get caught off guard and to make sure that you get the most precise, useful information to help you make better decisions for your trading. And really our goal here every week is to help you learn how to become financially independent. That is really our main focus. So anything that we can talk about to help you out with that, that's going to be our topic of discussion. A little bit of insight on the flow here. So first we start to take a look at what's going on in the market for the day, and then we'll dive into our topic. I'm going to show you guys how to really utilize the portfolios and how to get the most out of them here today, and how to build the perfect portfolio for yourselves. And then at the very end, we save the fan favorite for you guys, where we'll analyze any stock that you want to take a look at in less than 10 seconds. Hey there, Jay. Glad to see you here bright and early this morning. Hopefully you're doing well. All right. So with that, let's go ahead. Take a look at what's going on here in the market today. So first and foremost, right at the very top center, we see the market is mildly bullish, and VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. We're one tick into the green, and if we scroll down a little bit, we can see where that green light is coming from, and currently it's coming from the price column. Now, these three indicators that we see here, the price, RT, and BSR, are how we analyze the overall market to help us time when to get in and when to get out. So looking at the price is talking about the VectorVest composite. The VectorVest composite is an arithmetic indexed average of about 8,700 stocks that we track every single day. And this gives us a better representation on what's actually happening in the market, because it's not just looking at the Dow's 30, the Nasdaq's 100, or the S&P's 500, or even the Russell's 2000, but it's looking at 8,700 stocks. So better representation on what's actually happening in the market. The next is going to be the RT, or relative timing. Now this is cast on a scale of 0 to 2, and above 1 means it's good or it's going up, below 1 means it's bad or it's going down. And then the BSR is looking, or the buy to sell ratio is looking at the amount of buy rated stocks that we have currently, comparing it to the number of sell rated stocks in the database currently. We utilize this to give us an idea on the overall health of the market. So when there's more buys and sells, the buy to sell ratio is going to be above 1, as it is now at 1.45, and that indicates overall market strength. Now, if it's below 1, that shows us there's more sells than buys or overall market weakness. These three indicators, the average of these three indicators, are comprised to come up with the MTI, or the market timing indicator. This is looking at the underlying trend of the market. And this, once again, is going to be on a scale of 0 to 2. So above 1 means the underlying trend is up. Below 1, underlying trend is down. At 1.26, we can see the underlying trend of the market is still currently up. Then after that, we then get the trend column, which shows two parts of the trend each and every day. The first part refers to the primary wave, which is simply looking at the weekly trend of the market, if you will. We can see it's up since we're higher than we were a week ago. The second part is looking at the underlying trend, or just reiterating the MTI. So since the MTI is above 1, the underlying trend of the market is also up as well. After that, we then get the calls column, which stands for our confirmed calls. Now, our confirmed calls are our most conservative timing system. They're our last signal we get to get into the market and our last signal we get to get out. Therefore, we never want to ignore a confirmed call change. And right now, we can still see that we remain in that up situation. So things are looking good here today. Hey there, Bemmer. Glenn, thank you for that. Looking good. Awesome. Mike, VV Nation, there we go. All right. So we see things are looking fairly decent. RT is a little bit lower on a week over week basis, but still higher day over day. Same with the buy to sell ratio. Price is moving higher day over day and week over week. So overall, fairly decent conditions so far in what we see. Green is good. That's right, Mark. Green is always good. All right, so if we scroll down here, as always, we like to take a look at the advanced declines on every single day. We like to look at it because it tells us, or gives us a good idea of whether or not today is actually a good day to get in, or whether or not it may not be a good day to get in. Sometimes we see where the markets are up, but when looking at the advanced declines, we look for a 2-to-1 bias. So since the markets are up right now, we're looking for twice as many stocks moving higher than moving lower. And currently we're only seeing 54% of stocks moving higher and about 34% of stocks moving lower, clearly not meeting that 2-to-1 threshold. So even though we have that green light in the price column, we have that green light in the color guard there, we may be holding off actually if we need to be replacing a position or two today. Wait for that better buying opportunity. Good things come to those who wait. And just because today's not a good day doesn't mean tomorrow's not a good day or the next day. There's always going to be another buying opportunity. No need to rush your entries just because we see the markets are higher. All right, so we see that. Taking a look at the major indices, the Dow is up about 0.2%. The NASDAQ is essentially flat here so far today. S&P is up about 1/3%, and the VectorVest composite is also up about 1/3%. So NASDAQ's one of the worst performers. S&P's looking like one of the best performers so far out of the major indices. Now we got that covered. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to ask questions in the comments or in the chat, wherever you're tuning in from. I'd be glad to answer those for you. But if you guys don't have any questions, let's get into it. So today I'm going to walk you guys through setting up a portfolio so that way it can help you be able to track your portfolio on the go. Now, I know we talk about watch lists quite a lot. Watch lists are great for tracking stocks you're interested in, or just, doing some rank down analysis or rank analysis. It's a great way to be able to do that very quickly and easily, but a portfolio gives you that added extra benefit of being able to weight your positions and put it in to track your actual portfolio. So that way you can track on the go what your gains are, what your losses are, what your best performers, and really do some more portfolio specific rank analysis that you can't do in the watch list. So let's go ahead, get this set up here today and jump right into it. So I'll just go to the My Portfolios on the left-hand side. And you can see I have a few different portfolios already. I'm going to go ahead and just delete one of them. There we go. And create a new one. So we'll title this Facebook Live/YouTube, since this will be the first time we've actually done one on the YouTube channel. So we'll put it for both. Keep the initial investment of $100,000. That's just the default. Obviously, you can customize this to whatever specifically you need, but we'll just keep it for that for right now, just for example purposes here. And then we'll go ahead and say create the portfolio. And you can see it automatically walks you through setting up that portfolio. So add the position, go to the triple buttons in the upper right, select add position. Here's where we can start to enter in our portfolio or our holdings. You can put in exactly the way your entry point, you can put how much it costs you to get in, you can put commissions, all of that can be done right through the mobile app. Now, there are some things that we are working on to hopefully even add some more added benefit to this, but I can't really talk about it too much quite yet, but just know there are a lot of things that we're working on here to make the app even better than what it already is. So for now, let's go ahead and just pick out a stock. So the first person to give me a stock will be that stock that we put in here. And we may take a couple more, but let me know your guys' stocks that you want to have added into this portfolio, just for example here today. Let's see, who's going to be our first winner so far? I'm looking at both of them, Let's see. Hey there, Dale. Hopefully you're doing well. All right, we got one. Roblox. There we go. All right, so Roblox is our first stock that we're going to be adding to our portfolio. So RBLX. So we just go ahead, type it in, RBLX. There we go. Let's say, so the price is trading right now at 86. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit of math just to see how much we would hypothetically be getting into. So, that. There we go. Let's do. Give me 1 second here. Just to do some basic math. And then 85, let's say, just to. All right, so about, let's say 100 shares. So we'll go and put 100 shares here for quantity. And then you can go to the additional details, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So under the additional details, You can change the transaction date. You can change the commission. So if you pay a specific commission, most places are now at $0 commissions, but if you're somebody who does still pay a commission, you can add that in here. So that way it takes that into your cost basis. And we'll go ahead and just say add position here. And there we go. So let's go ahead and get a couple of more in here. Let's see. We'll get one from YouTube now. Let's go Marvel, MRVL. So MRVL. Here you can also change it. One of the other features, you can also change it to put in the investment amount. So if you don't want to break it down by doing it yourself, you can put it in here. So let's say $10,000. That'd be roughly, 1/10 of the overall portfolio size. Calculate shares, automatically breaks it down, add position. So if you're doing paper trading, these portfolios can be a huge benefit to yourself. One of the things we always talk here about at VectorVest is that before you ever jump into trading, if you're developing your own trading plan, if you're somebody who's just been shooting from the hip for a while and you're ready to start getting into more of a systematic approach, well, paper trading is one way of testing your plan to make sure that you get comfortable with your plan. Because if you're not comfortable with your plan, most likely you're going to allow your emotions to get involved. And when emotions get involved, that's typically when the average investor starts to make mistakes and turns small losses into big losses, or turns a gain into a loss, etc., etc. Can we reinvest dividends? Not on the mobile app quite yet. That is one of the things I've been working on for improvements and more functionality to it, but there's no way to reinvest dividends from the mobile app. You can calculate all that through the desktop, but not on the mobile specifically right now. You're welcome, Maria. All right. MRVL 100 at 55. So I've got, where is it? I've got 57.45 and I have 174. Basically took the 10,000 I typically put per position, because we're gonna assume we're gonna have 10 stocks in this portfolio today, and that's gonna be right there. So just wanted to show that you can do it by entering it manually, or you can have it automatically calculate how many shares you want to buy just by typing in the amount that you want to put into that specific stock. So a few different ways to make it easy for yourself to get a portfolio started. All right, so we've got 2 stocks in here. Let's go ahead and add a couple more. Let's go ahead, add position. And where is it? Let's do PLTR. Palantir. Go to here. Calculate. There we go. Got our Palantir in here now. Add position. Let's get another one. LI. Go to quantity. Calculate it automatically for us. There we go. So now we've got 4 stocks in here. Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. You can also add historical prices as well, so you can backtrack it as well, just like you can with the desktop. That is one of the nice benefits of using it here. All right, so we've got LI. Let's get another one. CCIV. There we go. We're going to assume these stocks are all put in today just to make it simple, but you can also backdate it as we just saw there as well. So we'll put in 10,000 again. There we go. Calculate the shares, add the position. Let's say we wanted a ETF in here, SPY, one of the most common ETFs out there. There we go. Got, oh, no. Whoops. Put in one too many zeros, I think. There we go. That looks a lot better. And that's the great thing is you guys just saw, if you fat finger it like I do quite often, it will alert you, hey, this is not exactly what it should be. You may want to double check your order to make sure you don't put in the wrong order and you have to go back and change things. All right, WST, let's go ahead and add that in here. Calculate 10,000. Add position. What is the difference between desktop and mobile for portfolio-wise, Mark? Is that what you're looking for? The portfolios have a lot more functionality currently, that just because of processing power, that kind of stuff. But we're looking to hopefully add more functionality to be able to get more with this. Let's see, TTD. But yeah, that's one of the things I've been really wanting to work on more, is to make sure that we have everything you guys could ask for plus more. Desktop is also stationary. That's right, Drew. That is a good observation. You can't take your desktop computer with you. All right, let's go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's get 2 more in here. Let's go ahead and say, hey, we're going to put it in 10,000. There we go. And let's get one more. I saw drip. I know probably talking about dividend reinvestment plans, but we're going to take the ETF drip 2 times bear. And we'll go ahead and say 10,000. There we go. Perfect. So now we have everything calculated for us. Everything is now set up. We can go up here to the top, change it to intraday. Obviously, we don't have more than 1 day of data, or else we would see that graph populate at the top showing us our daily performance of our overall portfolio. Here we can see the intraday performance, since this is a brand new portfolio. We can see how that is calculated and see our gain, loss, everything right here. So we can see our basket as a whole rather than just looking at each individual stock. Because that's one of the things that, it seems to be a flaw with, or not a flaw, but, a functionality that nowhere else provides. Yes, you can see your individual stocks going up, going down. Yes, you can see your total gain overall, but being able to visually see it like this can help a lot of people out, because not everybody, is good at, or not everybody likes to just look at numbers. Some people like to look at a visual of things, and this definitely provides that for you, which can't be found anywhere else. So going back here, as you can see, the default rank by is by return on investment, or biggest movers to the top, worst movers to the bottom. Well, the great thing about this, if you have a stock, or if you're really trying to figure out which stock that you can free up to, or you can get rid of to free up cash to put it in, or to get a new position in your portfolio, just simply tapping on that little arrow to the right of it will now automatically bring the worst performer to the top and the best performer to the bottom, because it all starts from managing your portfolios. We've talked about with watch lists. Managing your portfolio starts by mitigating your losses, freeing up that cash to reinvest into a stock, a better opportunity at that time. So Roblox, worst performer so far since we just put all these in, down about 0.4%. Typically not a huge deal. Most people would still have plenty of time to really let it go. But ROI is a phenomenal tool that can be used to really get the most insight into your portfolio. But what else do we have available to us? Well, we have the basics that you can find everywhere else, such as the gain for the day, gain percentage for the day, total value. But then you get the VectorVest proprietary indicators that can help you out a lot as well, just like we see with some of the watch lists. So you get RS, RT, RV, VST, dividend yield, a lot of different features here that you can use. Or you can just simply sort it by alphabetical, percent gain loss for the day, or the biggest movers. So if we go biggest movers, there we go. This will now tell us our biggest movers since for the day so far. As you can see, it's not biased towards up or down. It's just simply looking at the total gain and going from the biggest total gain at the top to the lowest gain of the day at the bottom. So if you're somebody who likes trading active stocks, this could be a great tool to help you instantly identify out of the basket you're holding which are some of the hottest stocks for that day. Technically, you can just take an RV. Not sure I'm following you on. Oh, Oh, never mind. Now I get it, Mark. A little late to the joke on that one. Do you have one stock you think is the number one to follow? Oh, he's replying to Jonathan. Okay. Let's see what Jonathan put a lot of stocks out there. So, going to be interesting to see if he has a response to that one. All right. So, looking at it here, we get the same type of analysis you can do in a portfolio, but this also gives you the added benefit of being able to see the dollar weighting as well. Let's say we wanted to take a look at Comfort Index. If we're doing some rank analysis in the watch or in the portfolio themselves, we can find that kind of information on the stocks that we're actually in. So especially if you're new to VectorVest, this can be a huge, powerful piece to really break down your portfolio and analyze your own specific portfolio by dollar weight and see what's working, what's not, maybe see some ideas of where you can trim the fat or where you can free up cash to reinvest into some other potential candidates here. So you have a lot of different functionality that can't be found anywhere else. Mike, if you're looking for stock or getting your stock analyzed, just stick around to the very end, guys. As always, we do analyze any stock that you want to take a look at in less than 10 seconds. So that always does come at the very end. Just stick around if that's what you're wanting to get your stocks analyzed there. Drew is putting in RS times CI. So that is one of the things I have on my list, Drew, to get added in. I believe it's a powerful indicator. As we've talked about over the years here, RS times CI is extremely powerful. And that is one of the things I want to get added into the mobile app for you guys as well. Hopefully sooner rather than later. All right, so as we go through here, let's go ahead, change it back to ROI. There we go. And let's sort it to bring the worst ROIs to the top. Okay, so Roblox now down 1% since we got into it. It's our worst performer. Let's say it was down even worse than that. Okay, it's time to get rid of it. I'm done. It's not really going up right out of the gate. Cutting my loss now rather than letting it continue to ride. So, gonna take that. You can just simply swipe to the left, close the position. You could change the share price or the exact price for what you closed out of it as. You can put in your commissions once again. You can change the trade date, all of that here. Close position. CCIV also down about 1%. Close the position. And then LI down about 1%. Gonna go ahead and close those out too. Okay, so now we have freed up cash. We have about 3 positions we have about 3 positions worth of capital in the account that we can put into a new opportunity. So let's go ahead, run through the standard process. As always, we check what the market is doing. We see, okay, we're still one green light. The RT is lower on a week over week basis. The buy to sell ratio is lower on a week to week basis. I'm a little iffy. I'm worried about what the market's doing. Maybe, we're at a top. Maybe, things are starting to roll over. You're a little cautious. So you want to add something as a potential hedge to your portfolio. Well, let's go into the stock pick ideas. We can choose down here under the premium watch list. We have the Contra ETS folder. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Changing the rank by. Let's go ahead and look for the biggest movers for the day. So not a whole lot moving from the major indices. We see the triples are down still, so that tells us the bulls are still up. We know that the market is moving higher right now. But let's just say out of them, we're heavy into tech stocks. So we'll go to SQQQ, take a look at it. Timing is not right. Pull up the graph. RSI is starting to pick up a little bit. Great. Let's just say everything was looking good. We're seeing a turnaround. We like this. Totally an example, not saying this is a good one to get into, just for an example for the day. So we go to the 3 dots in the upper right. We can go ahead and add it to the portfolio. Select the portfolio we want to add it to. Put in 10,000. Yep, got that right. Return. Add to the portfolio. We'll go ahead and say yes. So now we have a hedge built into our portfolio. You can change the price obviously to what you paid for it, whatever you wanted to do there, but I just did it the quick way because we're not actually trading these right now. But now you can see we have that hedge in our portfolio. We can now counteract any downward pressure utilizing the SQQQ. You can use whatever you wanted to. If you're looking for the SPY or something in the S&P 500, you may look at SPXU or or if you're looking at the Dow, you could be looking at SDOW, whatever it is that you prefer. But you can quickly add that in here. Track options, not with the VectorVest stock advisory, Bob. It's just looking at stocks, ETFs. You can put in options premiums if you're selling options on the desktop, but not on the mobile. But that's actually a interesting point. I may try to look for that. I may try to add that into my list that I've got going so far. I say it every week, but the listing or the list that I put together of the features that I want to see added in come from your guys' input. So every single week I see comments that you guys put into these streams, and I think they're great ideas. Would love to see them implemented. I see the benefit for having that in there. So I do actually take it down. I know I say that every week, but I really do, and that is something that I've been working on. So hopefully we've got a good list. And if you have ideas that you want to see, make sure to put them into the comments of these videos, because I do go through them and read them. And I have a big master spreadsheet of all of them. So letting you guys know that your input does go into directly influences what we do with our mobile app to make sure that you guys have the best tools out there. Can you transfer the watch list to a portfolio? Yes, you can. But so I just wanted to show how you can go from, let's say, one of the watch list or screeners or whatever you're looking for. Let's go to screener. Let's go to featured screens. Let's find one. Let's say new sell rated stocks. You wanted a shorter stock. Well, here's a screener. Click on the stock. Go ahead, tap on those three little icons, add to portfolio, or select the portfolio. You're going to be selling this short, 10,000. There we go. Add to portfolio. Go ahead and say yes. Now we've got our short position in here as well. So you can see you can have a mixture of both long and shorts. It don't have to be just one way or the other. You can do all of that here, and this is exactly what you want to be able to do if you're going to be able to track your trades one for one. Yeah, I agree, Susan. I would love to have TD Ameritrade linked up as well. Unfortunately, I know that there's talks going on, but I don't know where that ends up at, though. It's been a long, drawn-out process for that one. All right, so hopefully you guys see how easy it is to get new ideas in here, especially if you're paper trading, or if you're not paper trading. If you found a good opportunity in one of them, let's go ahead and assume that you went out to your broker, placed that trade. Well, you can then bring it right into here and add it in there quickly for you to help save yourself some time. Also, one thing from here, if you go to the menu in the upper right, if you put in a stock into your watch list or into your portfolio, and you have, TradeStation, Ally, or Interactive Brokers, you can go ahead and choose to trade now and send that order from your VectorVest stock advisory app directly to those broker accounts as well. So that's another great feature that you can utilize with the portfolios and directly from here. Also, if you wanted to get a breakdown of the stock, because if you're in the portfolio, you see all the numbers, but if you want to get a sense of what that stock is doing, if you want to check up on that stock, you can just simply tap on it. You can go to the graph. You can get the same kind of information you can find from the watch list without having to go back and forth, all of it in one simple location for you. All right, so hopefully we all see that now. We have our portfolio. We now have some longs. We have some shorts. We can quickly manage these stocks directly from the portfolios themselves. We don't have to go in and manually add it. If you're in a watch list and you want to add it into it, just simply go to the three little icon in the upper, or three dot icon in the upper right. You can add it directly from there as well. So you have a lot of ability to really get hands-on with your portfolio and keep up to date. So that way you don't have to worry about somebody else trying to maintain your portfolio. You can manage your own portfolio wherever you're at and get the type of analysis that you need to make the smart decisions for yourselves as well. So hopefully that helps out. Hopefully you guys have a pretty good understanding of that. If you guys have any other questions about the portfolios, by all means, let me know in the comments or the chat, depending on where you're tuning in from here today. I know we've got a lot of people over on our Facebook page. If you guys haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're on our YouTube page and you haven't already subscribed to the new live page, go ahead and subscribe to the live channel. We have a lot of great content planned specifically for our new live channel. So if you haven't already followed that page, or if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that now as well. All right, so we've got that. Any other questions or anything else that you guys would like to see with a portfolio that I haven't covered so far? I know there's one that we're going to talk about right now for Mark, how you can transfer a watch list into a portfolio. But I want to see if there's any other questions that I have or that you guys have that you guys can get out now while I show you how to do that. Can I use the mobile app to monitor the Canadian or European markets? In the upper left-hand corner, you have the US flag there. You can go to US, Canada, Europe, UK, Australia. Europe and Canada can both be found there. You can't put your European or Canadian stocks into the US portfolio because they're not, those stocks specifically, those tickers are not tracked in the US markets because they're not traded in the US markets. So you would have to add in, if you're, let's say, trading a Canadian stock, you would have to add it into the Canadian side so that way it tracks it, because that ticker symbol wouldn't be the same in the US market. So just wanted to throw that out there. All right, so if you go into the My Watch List, let's find a watch list here. Let's do clean energy. Clean energy seems to be picking up a little bit of steam recently. So if we go into the clean energy, we can go here. We can say select stocks. And then just highlight the ones you wanted to add from the watch list. And then down here at the bottom, you have add to portfolio. You could create a new portfolio and add them into it, or you could put them into an existing portfolio. If you've created the shell of the overall portfolio and just want to throw that basket into there, you could do that as well. Once again, you highlight them or you select stocks, and then you can add those into there. Any alarm can set so I know when to sell my portfolio. So Sunny, right now, the way to set up alarms or alerts, that's one of the things that's on my docket, is to really expand upon the alert systems that we have. But if you have, let's say, JK Solar, you have this little bell to the right of the price, and you can create a new alert, and you can put in a price crosses below or above, depending on where the current price is now. But you can basically set your line in the sand so that way it'll alert you when that position has crossed above or below whatever price you're looking for. Right now, that is the way to get alerts. I'm looking to expand upon that, but for right now, that will do what you're looking for. All right, so that's really the main gist of it. You can see that you can take your stocks, put them into a portfolio from your own watch list, or you can enter them manually to mimic exactly what you already have. If you're brand new to investing, or let's say you're not brand new, but you've been investing for a while, really just been, not going anywhere, you're not really making a whole lot, you're not losing a whole lot, you just need to focus on more of a systematic plan. Well, the VectorVest Stock Advisory portfolios can help you paper trade on your own trading system to help you really develop your plan and make sure you're comfortable with your plan so you can remove your emotions from your portfolio and focus on a systematic approach. Because that's really the best thing you could possibly do to be successful in the market, is focusing more on a systematic approach rather than an emotional approach. Manage cash. Can you add cash? You can't add cash on the mobile portfolios, not yet. You can on the desktop portfolios though. Also, if you have the desktop application, or if you're on VectorVest 7, that will sync up with these, so you will be able to see your portfolios that are in VectorVest 7 directly from your stock advisory app as well. So that's a great benefit of having the desktop, is that it does come with the mobile app, and the mobile app does sync up with the desktop as well. So hopefully that helps you guys out with that. If you guys have any other questions about the portfolios, let me know in the chat or the comments. If you haven't already hit that like button, go ahead and do so now. And let me know the stocks that you guys want to take a look at. I'll analyze any stock that you guys have questions about and show you how to do so in less than 10 seconds utilizing the Stock Advisory app. So while you guys are getting those in, I'm just going to go ahead, tap on the magnifying glass in the upper right, get that ready for when your requests come in, take a quick drink, and we'll get right into it. All right. Looks like you can add historical prices and buys on new entries, but not on transfers. Not on transfers. Not sure what you mean by transfer there, Mark. Let's see. Roblox. All right. RBLX. Okay. So Roblox. We're going to use this as the example. We'll take our time a little bit with this one, and then we'll see. Then I'll show you guys how fast this can really be for you. So you get 4 indicators right at the bottom here. All 4 of them are cast on a scale of 0 to 2. Once again, this is to make it easy for you guys out there, so that way you can analyze any stock faster than anywhere else out there. So we start off with the RV, or relative value. Relative value is looking at the long-term potential of the stock over the next 1 to 3 years. Above 1 is good, below 1 is bad. At 0.65, it tells us it has poor long-term potential over the next 1 to 3 years when compared to a AAA corporate bond. The second is the RS, or relative safety. The relative safety is looking at the consistency and the predictability of the company's financial performance. What it means for you is it's simply an indicator of risk. So at 0.76, that's below the level of 1, that tells us that it has more risk associated with this stock. Then we look at the timing, 1.25, or the timing is looking at the short-term price trend first and foremost. 1.25 tells us it is in a slight uptrend. But when you combine all 3 of these together to get our master indicator VST, that does remain below 1. So this tells us this is a speculative stock because it has an RV and RS below 1. And the timing, while it is up on a short-term basis, it is not up enough to offset the risk for this stock, so the stock is not favorable. So hopefully that helps now everybody, or hopefully it helps anybody new tuning in understand exactly what the analysis is telling us. Now let's see how fast this can make our process going forward. So let's get a stock from our YouTube side. Hey guys, CLOV, so Clove. All right. So Clove, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. It's falling like a rock. Therefore, the stock is not favorable. I don't know if you guys timed me, but I know that was under 10 seconds. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. MRIN. Poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it, but this thing's blasting off like a rocket. So therefore, it is favorable, but it's favorable if you're a momentum trader or a speculative trader, somebody who's really, focused on very short-term moves. Yes, this is huge. This has great momentum. This is what you want. But if you're somebody who does value fundamentals and more of a longer term investor, or maybe even like a swing trader, you may not take this just because the amount of risk and the poor fundamentals associated with it. All right. Let's see. XOM. So Exxon, poor long-term potential, but about a little bit better than average safety involved with this stock, so less risk associated with it. However, you do have a nice steady uptrend, so overall, the stock's favorable. Let's see. Going back, WVVI. I don't think I've ever seen that one before, so pulling up a new stock for me here today. So this one, poor long-term potential, but solid fundamentals. So more of a conservative play. But the conservative play with the hot timing as well. 1.46, really nice, strong uptrend. Therefore, the stock is definitely favorable here. Let's see. DXC has great good long-term potential, but does have a little bit of risk getting to that long-term potential. Really nice, strong, short-term uptrend. Overall, stock's favorable. So more of an aggressive stock because you have an RV above 1 with an RS below 1, but still a good play and definitely favorable stock right now. All right, let's see. NVAX. NVAX, great long-term potential, about average risk associated with it. However, you're in a short-term steady uptrend, so overall stock's favorable. ARCB. ARCB, good long-term potential, less risk associated with it. However, the timing is not there. 0.55 tells us it's in a steady decline. Therefore, the stock is a good stock, just not the time to be long into it. So because it has an RV and an RS above 1, this would be classified as a prudent stock. Good fundamentals, less risk associated with it, just not the time to be long in it. Let's see what next we have. SWBI. SWBI, good long-term potential, about average risk associated with it. You have a really strong short-term uptrend. So yeah, overall stock's definitely favorable. F, looking at Ford, decent long-term potential, about average risk associated with it compared to the average stock out there. You have a really nice, strong short-term uptrend. Therefore, the stock's favorable. TSLA. So TSLA, great long-term potential, less risk associated with it. As I've talked about recently on some of our other content on our YouTube channel, you do have that short-term trend starting to turn positive again. Therefore, the stock's favorable. CPSH. CPSH. Poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. However, even though it's down a lot here today, you still on a short-term basis have a strong uptrend. Overall, stock's favorable, but be careful if you're a momentum trader on that one. Let's see. JKS. JKS, poor long-term potential, but solid fundamentals, so less risk associated with it. You have a really nice short-term uptrend. Overall, the stock is favorable. After that big run-up we've seen with it recently, it's pulling back a little bit, but overall, you're still probably ahead if you got in early on that one. Let's see, BNTX. BNTX has great long-term potential, less risk associated with it, really nice, strong short-term uptrend. Overall, stock is definitely favorable here. WTI. So WTI, you have average long-term potential. You have a lot of risk associated with it, though. However, momentum play, this one is definitely a strong momentum play currently. Therefore, the stock's going to be favorable right now. Let's see, HGEN. And also, if I miss a stock here today, if I accidentally skip over one, I apologize. But as always, if you're not already a subscriber, you can click on the link in the description of today's video. Sign up for that free trial for the next 2 weeks. Or if you're on YouTube, you can click on the link in the chat there. And you can do this exact analysis on your own wherever you're at. If you're already a subscriber, go on vacation, enjoy yourself, pull up your phone if you're on the go, and type in a symbol and see how fast you can do it from there. So looking at HGN. HGN has great long-term potential, but a lot of risk. You're in a slight decline currently. The stock is favorable because it has that good long-term potential, but right now the timing is not there. So Scott, there's a local coffee place here that does an amazing energy drink as well called Clutch. If you're ever in the Mooresville area or North Carolina, Charlotte area, check it out. Great place. But on Thursdays, I sometimes splurge. I stop there if I have time in the mornings, and I made that stop. So no Red Bull yet for me today. All right, HGN, covered that one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next. Dollar General, DG. So Dollar General has great long-term potential, less risk associated with it. You're in a steady uptrend. Overall, stock's definitely going to be a favorable candidate here. AMD. So AMD has great long-term potential, less risk associated with it. You're in a strong short-term uptrend. Overall, stock's definitely favorable. ENPH. ENPH, great long-term potential, less risk associated with it. Look at that RT, 1.69, really strong short-term uptrend. Therefore, the stock is definitely favorable. Man, I miss the days of ENPH trading in like the $20 range. Those were the good old days, Jay. RGR, great long-term potential, but does have a little bit more risk associated with it, a little more inconsistencies in their balance sheets. However, strong short-term uptrend, so therefore the stock's favorable. Extro. There we go. As always, we've got to look at it at least once every single week. So, Extro, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. It's in a slight decline. Really, it's just flat more so than anything, in my personal opinion. But RT at 0.8 tells us it is in a steady or a slight decline. Therefore, the stock is not favorable right now. Transfer from watch list to portfolio. Gotcha. Let's see. One per Hey, Jay's been here for a long time. I don't mind if Jay has a few extras from time to time. I'm okay with that. He's definitely I'd say our a big fan. He comes to all of our live streams, been to all of our live streams since we were first starting these, so he definitely deserves a couple extra. All right, cost KOSS. KOSS, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk involved with this one. It's steadily dropping like a rock, therefore it's not favorable right now. Let's see, what else do we have? We'll do two more. ADM, great long-term potential, less risk associated with it. However, the timing is just not there. At 0.87, it is in a steady decline currently, so be careful. Great stock. Wait for that uptrend to start kicking back in. But for now, simply keep it on your radar. Don't want to be long into it currently. And then last one, let's see. SENS. All right, SENS. Sensonic. So Sensonic has poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it, but the timing at 1.54, 1.55, bouncing right around that point right now. So it is a speculative stock. It's a biotech stock if you're not familiar with it. All biotechs are going to be more speculative plays because they're based on whether or not they can get that FDA approval or whether or not they have good trial data. So there is a lot of speculation involved with these. I think we can all agree upon that. So timing at 1.55, really strong short-term uptrend. Therefore, the stock is favorable right now. I know it's down a little bit here today, but we have a nice steady trend forming out. Let's go 3 months. You have higher lows being formed here, but lower highs being formed here for right now, for the time being. So therefore, we do have a little bit of a wedge forming with Sensonic. There you go, Jay. I know you're going to be happy about that one. You do have a little bit of a wedge forming with Sensonic currently, so that is something to keep an eye on. But if you're bullish on it, there's a lot of good news coming out, or it should hopefully be coming out very soon over the next couple of months. If you're not familiar with it, I definitely recommend checking it out. But I like the stock. It's favorable. Right now it has a hold, but for a lower dollar stock, this is definitely one that you want to keep on your radar. All right. So with that, let's take a look at what the market is doing now. So we are currently one tick into the green, still mildly bullish, coming from the price column. Looking at the advanced declines, advances have pulled back a little bit, now sitting at only about 51%. Decliners have been picking up a little bit, sitting at about 38% so far. Looking at the major indices, the Dow is still staying about 0.2% higher. The NASDAQ really seems to be where the weakness is coming from, now down about 0.33%, where it was basically flat when we first started. And the S&P was up about 0.33%, now up about 0.25%. So not much change with that one. Overall, VectorVest Composite down a little bit, but still about 0.2% higher so far. So that is the market review now. With that, thank you everybody for tuning in here. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, whether you're coming from the Facebook channel or whether you're coming from our YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in. I love having you guys, love your insight. Once again, if you guys have any time or if you guys have any comments on things that you want to see added into the mobile app, leave them in the comments or the chat, either or. I do look at that, and that does go into improving the mobile app to make it the most encompassing trading app for retail investors out there. So if you've enjoyed today's session, you want to share this knowledge with somebody else, as always, hit that share button, hit that like button. All that helps me out and gets this information out there and helps us continue to grow this community that we built over the years, and continues to strengthen the community as well. So with that, take care. Adios. I hope you all have a great long weekend. Happy 4th if I don't talk to anybody before that. Happy 4th of July. Be safe out there. And make sure to be rested, ready to go for next Thursday as we kick off another live stream here on Facebook and on our YouTube channel as well. So until next time, take care. Adios. See you guys.